Shimizu, who is 11-1 with 10 KOs. And when it comes to Robeisy Ramirez, he is 12-1 with 7 KOs. He lost his pro debut back in 2019, and all he's done ever since that shocking loss is get better and better and better as a pro. Here's the classy Jemmy Lennon Jr.
試合に先立ちまして、ここで一般財団法人日本ボクシングコミッション萩原稔コミッショナーによりますコミッショナー宣言です。
コミッショナー宣言。ただいまから行われます WBO 世界フェザー級タイトルマッチチャンピオンロベイシ・ラミレス対挑戦者清水聡の12回戦は昨日午後1時規定通り厳重なる身体検査を行いと計量を行い両選手ともすべてに的確でありましたので私はこの試合を WBO 世界フェザー級タイトルマッチと認定いたします。2023年7月25日一般財団法人日本ボクシングコミッションコミッショナー萩原稔。
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Ariake Arena here in Tokyo, Japan, for the first of our world title attractions brought to you by Ohashi Promotion in association with Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated. This bout is sanctioned by the WBO, the president, Francisco Valcarcel. The supervisor is Gustavo Olivieri. Along with the Japan Boxing Commission, we present our officials, judges scoring from ringside. From Canada, Richard Bluet. From Spain, Manuel Oliver Palomo. And from Puerto Rico, Jose Roberto Torres. Introducing our third man to the ring, the referee in charge of the action from Puerto Rico, Ramon Peña. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the WBO Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first, on my left, fighting out of the red corner, the defending champion. Entering the ring wearing black trunks with blue and red trim. Fighting out of Gulfport, Florida in the United States. He weighed in at 125 3/4 pounds or 57 kilograms. With a record of 12 wins and 1 loss, he has 7 wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, in the first defense of his world title, here is the prized former amateur champion and the current defending WBO featherweight champion of the world, El Tren Robeisy Ramirez. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, tonight's challenger, wearing white trunks with blue trim. Fighting out of Yokohama by way of Soja, Okayama, Japan. He weighed in at 125 3/4 pounds, the same as his opponent, 57 kilograms. His hard-hitting record stands at 11 wins, only 1 defeat, with 10 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight making his first attempt at a world title, here is the dangerous world-ranked featherweight contender, introducing Satoshi Shimizu. Once again, a referee in charge, now to give instructions, Ramon Peña.
Vamos, que va a empezar el... Okay, guys, you already received the instructions for your aggressiveness. Remember, respect my commands and protect yourself all the time. Touch glove and God bless.
All right, the first of 2 world title fights. Robeisy Ramirez taking on Satoshi Shimizu. The first world title defense of his featherweight belt, won in his last fight against Isaac Dogbe, the first title shot in the career of Satoshi Shimizu. Both fighters southpaw. Ramirez with the blue trunks with black trim, Shimizu with the white trunks.
We talked about Shimizu being the taller fighter with the obvious longer reach, but what we're going to look for right now is if he knows how to use that height and reach. If he doesn't have a stiff jab, if he doesn't know how to keep Robeisy on the outside, then Robeisy's coming with hard shots.
Shimizu looking to establish the jab, shoots a 1-2 from the southpaw stance. Jabs it quickly, brings the guard up high. Ramirez, 2-time Olympic gold medalist for Cuba. Shimizu also a 2-time Olympian, winning the bronze medal in 2012.
Shimizu's hands are just a little bit low for me right now. You know, that jab isn't stiff enough, it's not straight enough, and Robeisy can very easily come over the top of these punches when he chooses to.
Shimizu is ranked at number 12 by the WBO.
Good combination from Robeisy. You can see the power difference already.
It's always interesting to me when a guy at number 12 gets a shot at a world title. I wonder what's going on with the 11 by the time guy is ahead of him, but nonetheless, well, this fight card is here in Japan.
Same question a lot of us have.
Yep. This is boxing, right? Robeisy misses with the left hand there as Shimizu ducks under that shot and fires back with the right hand jab. Robeisy excited for his first world title defense. Said he wants to put on a show for the fans there in Japan. One, two, and then a right hand to the body for Ramirez. Uppercut, right hand for Ramirez.
I think Ramirez is just sort of trying to feel out Shimizu right now, trying to see what he's got in his arsenal. Testing him out on the inside, testing him out from a distance. You can see Ramirez has that high guard, sort of looking through, looking for his openings. I think he knows that Shimizu isn't strong enough to hurt him.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
I'm ready.
Hell yeah!
Journey to incredible destinations this summer on Sky Cinema.
Mayday, mayday.
Commence rescue operation. Most of the passengers are still in their cabins when the storm hit.
So almost 300 people still missing. What the hell happened on there?
The 100 is back.
It's a huge hit. Huge!
Catch the return of the 100 live on Sky Sports.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
Round 2 of this scheduled 12-rounder. Christina Poncher and Michaela Mayer here with you on the broadcast. We'd like to welcome all of our friends watching on Sky Sports in the UK and Ireland. We appreciate you spending your morning and into the afternoon with us. It's an early one for us here, 3:45 a.m. from Michaela and I here in Las Vegas, calling this fight remotely from the studio, but pleasure to have you with us. And quite frankly, I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for the main event. If there was any fight that could get me excited at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
No, in the wins.
Not many.
Stephen Fulton is one of them. As
big combinations from Ramirez.
Ramirez turns it on here in round 2.
You know, Ramirez is letting his combinations go, and Shimizu's sort of just covering up and hiding in that shell, which is a really dangerous position to be when you're taking punches from someone as strong as Robeisy. And you can see Shimizu on the inside trying to throw those shots, but Ramirez is really unfazed by it.
A lot of them hitting off the gloves and the arms of Ramirez as well. Almost like he's letting him kind of get some of his shots off, but then as soon as he sees an opening for a counter, you know, Robeisy is not one to waste punches. He is really efficient when he decides to throw, economical with his shots.
And that's good, you know, coming from the amateur background where you just sort of had to throw. You know, you 3-minute rounds, three 3-minute rounds, and that's another skill that it takes that when you cross over into the pros to sort of settle down and start to see your shots and pick your shots, set things up, a little bit more strategy involved. So you can see him taking his time right now and doing that.
Shimizu really not putting any steam, Michaela, behind any of these shots.
They're very lazy shots, and I'm just waiting for Ramirez to slip and come over the top and counter one of these shots because, like I said, Shimizu's hands are just a little bit too low for me.
Low and slow.
Low and slow.
That's good when you're, you know, cooking a pot roast, if you will. If you're smoking some meat, but not if you're at a boxing ring against Robeisy Ramirez. Counter shot with the right hand from Robeisy. Ramirez down to the body with the left hand. Shimizu just pawing with that lead right hand jab from the southpaw stance. Robeisy just misses with that wide left hand.
Good hooks from Robeisy, just trying to close that space.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
Everyone around here agrees working with Fiverr freelancers is terrific. And who came up with the idea for using Fiverr? Liam. And who hired Liam? It was me. Just to be clear.
Hire a top-rated freelancer on Fiverr.
Life insurance from just £1 a month. The no gobbledygook.
Look, mate, gobbledygook.
Sign up and you won't pay for your first 2 months. Dead happy. Really affordable life insurance.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
Deep breath there from Robeisy Ramirez. This is 14th professional fight, 7 KOs. The defending WBO featherweight world champion, and you know, over all my years of covering boxing, you know, every fighter's dream to win a world title, and winning the world title is a huge accomplishment for any pro fighter. But then they talk about the target that's on your back once it comes time to defend, and the shift in mentality, and the shift that happens when you come from being the hunter to the hunted. What's it like, Michaela, from your experience, not only just winning the fight, winning the title, but now defending it and going to your opponent's backyard to do so?
I mean, personally for me, winning one world title wasn't even that satisfying. Like, to me, that was like a small step in the ultimate goal, which was to unify the division. And in this 4-belt era, this is what everybody wants to do. They want to go undisputed. They want to challenge the other champions. And I love that about this era. But to me, one world title, and this definitely had an effect about me being a female in the sport when, you know, in the time when we're still trying to make a place for ourselves. But one world title didn't change my life. 2 world titles didn't change my life. So it really taking some time to build that up,
but defending versus winning, it's like you have to change that mentality and that mindset that everyone's coming for you, and you gotta hold on to that strap when everyone's trying to take something from you.
Yeah, no, exactly. But that's sort of the exciting part also. You know, it's either going to fuel you or it's going to make you sort of shut down. I think a true champion, that excites them when people are coming for them, and you know, you're the one that everybody wants to fight. That's what you work for, to be at that #1 spot.
Left hooks now coming from the hip of Robeisy Ramirez, connecting on Shimizu.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Ramirez mix in some body shots in there, not just one shot, but combinations. You know, he's so tall, he's right there in the body. You got to take what you can get. Dig to the body and then come over the top to the head.
More pitter-patter shots there from Shimizu as hooks continue to get around the long arms of the Japanese fighter.
Ramirez needs to be letting his hands go in here, not just holding his hands up and keeping that shell.
Nice uppercuts from Ramirez. Again, a warning for low blow for Shimizu. A couple of shots have hit the hips of Ramirez.
I think that the reason why Ramirez is just holding his hands up like that and keeping the earmuffs, is what Coach Al would call it, is because he doesn't feel the power from Shimizu. He knows that he can't really hurt him in that position, but still, he's got to shift his head, punch off that, and not just sit there and take shots.
Beautiful counter right hand.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
It's time to get your free credit score and report with ClearScore.
Ollie, lights!
Get personalised insights on improving your score and weekly updates.
Whoa. Lights? Hey, good news, Dad. I reckon I can get that flat. Here we are.
So when it's time to get help with your finances and make plans,
lights,
it's time to be clear. ClearScore. Download the UK's #1 credit score and report app for free.
Boxing on Sky Sports, brought to you by Voltero.
The image of the body there. That really is all it seems that Shimizu has, is that long 1-2. And it's not even that long and straight. And he's not connecting very flush with it.
Take a look at the CompuBox numbers. Through the first 3 rounds, Robeisy Ramirez has landed nearly 40% of his punches compared to just 12% from Shimizu. 55% of his power shots have connected. Oh, nice uppercut there. Robeisy starting to get in more of a rhythm here in round 4. Like I said, he's going to be economical with the shots. He's going to be efficient. I mean, that's backed up by the CompuBox numbers. Just stated, anytime you're landing at a 40% clip, that's highly efficient. 3 jabs, left hand followed by right hook.
Yeah, at this
Back
point,
to the jab.
I think Ramirez knows exactly what Shimizu is going to throw. I mean, I do. So I'm sure he's picked up on it. It's nothing fancy. He's not mixing up his punches too much. Some uppercuts on the inside, but mostly from the outside, it's just that jab and that 1-2.
That hook is starting to back Shimizu up. Oh, beautiful punch selection there from Ramirez. Shimizu looking to get back to the jab, looking to hook around with his right hand. Punch scores doesn't affect Robeisy much, but when he does get around the guard, I mean, that's a scoring shot, even if it doesn't look as good as the shots that Robeisy's throwing.
Well, you see Ramirez had Shimizu, and then he had him good with a good 3-punch combination, and then he sort of backs up like this and lets Shimizu take control of the ring when he doesn't need to do that. He closes that space and then gives it up. So all the work he did to close that space and get inside and land those shots, now he's having to do it all over again.
Now Robeisy's coming forward. Shimizu retreats with that high guard back against the ropes. Robeisy Ramirez turning it on here in round 4.
And that's exactly what he needs to do. He's a better fighter, he's a stronger fighter. There's no reason he should be inching back and letting Shimizu take over, take the space and close that space on him.
Just under 30 seconds to go in round 4.
And I don't like the earmuffs. I want to see, Ramirez has a really good jab. I'd like to see him continue to hold that space and pump that jab and let the combinations go. I don't like the earmuffs just holding and blocking punches.
There goes the right hand jab.
Doing that.
Perhaps the height and the reach for a very tall opponent in the weight classes is causing the change a bit in style as far as using the high guard. There's again that low shot where he's landed a couple times to the hip, but I agree with you, Michaela. I mean, use the jab, get yourself some distance and move around the outside versus standing there in a clinch. It's obvious that the power of Shimizu isn't affecting you, but you're letting him get more into rhythm or, get some points in terms of, ring generalship when he's able to stand there and tee off, even if some of these shots are blocked.
Yeah, you obviously have the better jab and you have more power, so there's no reason to be sitting there taking shots. I don't remember him doing that before in other fights, but like you said, it could be because of the height and the southpaw. I don't think he's fought a southpaw. I know he fought plenty in the amateurs, but I don't know if he's fought one since he's turned pro, so maybe he's a little thrown off by that. I don't know, maybe it's part of the game plan that him and his coach have come up with, but I'm personally not a fan of the high guard.
And there he up jabs with the right hand. Shimizu still finding a hard time getting an opening through that guard.
Yeah, Shimizu should be going down to the body with a high guard like that.
That's one way to bring the hands down now, isn't it?
They're trying to find, openings like by pulling the gloves in certain directions. And here comes Ramirez with the
and an uppercut there drops Shimizu.
That's the kind of combinations I want to see from Ramirez. I know that he has that in him. Maybe it was in his plan all along. Maybe
blood streaming from the nose of Shimizu now as Robeisy Ramirez continues to pour it on here in round 5. Left hand, right hand, it's over. He has defended his world title successfully for the first time, and still Robeisy Ramirez, WBO featherweight world champion. He was in there until he wasn't, Michaela May.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I was hoping that Ramirez would do, because I know that's what he has in him. Took him a second, I mean, not that long. What was it, the fourth round?
Fifth round, yeah.
Fifth round.
Hands raised to the crowd, showing once again that the power at 126 is real for Robeisy Ramirez. That is the now 4th knockout in his last 5 fights. This one coming in his first world title defense. In a fight where his opponent only landed 22 punches through 4, I'll say 4 rounds since it didn't get through the 5th, but that's impressive to keep your opponent only at a 12% clip. Meanwhile, you landed 100 punches to his 22.
Yeah, and if he would have let his hands go like he just did, just imagine that would have been over. That would have been over the first round.
Well, looking at the numbers once again, of those 100 total punches landed, 86 of those were power shots. 59% clip. So he goes to Japan, he gets the job done, and there's no doubt in my mind he's going to be looking to unify those world titles next. Here's Jamie Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 8 seconds in round number 5. A referee in charge, Ramon Pena, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, and still the WBO featherweight champion of the world, El Rey, Robeisy Ramirez.
Robeisy Ramirez now 13-1 as a pro, with 8 knockouts coming along in his professional career. Just Shotasi Shimizu. He would like a unification fight, possibly against Luis Alberto Venado Lopez next. I don't see that as a challenging fight.